Just check something as well while I'm at it. Yeah, no, that's all good. Just making sure about something. Right, I'll hop onto the main channel, see where the stream is. Hopefully it isn't too far away. It's currently loading onto the channel as I speak. Alright, audio is as it should be. The stream's up, the chat's up. We're all good to go. That is absolutely fantastic. Hello everyone and welcome to round 12 of the PlayStation Elite Series here on Race Spec Esports. I'm LaneEveringham, your commentator for this event, and this time we're racing at Autodromo José Carlos Pache for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Opened in 1940 and has been hosting Formula One Grand Prix since 1972, Interlagos is widely regarded as one of the all-time greatest racetracks on the Formula One calendar. This circuit has an incredible natural ability to generate spectacular races. Whether it be awesome side-by-side racing, insanely tight qualifying, drama and chaos on the racetrack, important strategy calls with the safety car, or even changeable and unpredictable weather conditions, Interlagos can do it all. On top of that, the modern-day 4.31 kilometer 15-turn circuit features two DRS zones that lead into the prime spots of turn 1 and turn 4, but drivers can also try and pass into the hairpins of turn 8 and turn 10 in the middle sector. Drivers will need to make full use of those overtaking areas, as this will be a sprint round. Races for the price of one, and there are plenty of points on offer here tonight. Now, before we focus on this qualifying session, there is a bit of news to go through first from last week's race in France. Only a single incident report, an incident that we saw on stream between ACW and Marcus Costa at turn 2 at Circuit Paul Ricard. The steward's verdict was no further action, with Marcus Costa cutting the track and gaining a position. The stewards deemed it fair, so no penalty from that. In the Drivers' Championship, Marcus Costa is leading the way on 248 points, followed by F1 Ferrari Pro on 224. 24 points separate the top two, which is a considerable margin, but Marcus Costa has been dealt a massive blow this week. Thanks to the massive storms down in South Australia and around Adelaide, quite a few people have been shut off from power. And Marcus, poor Marcus, he's one of them. So he's unable to attend today's race. So there is a chance, if Ferrari Pro puts together a really good race here, or races here at Brazil, he could take the championship lead heading out of this round. Silverport is third in the championship on 150 points, followed by Bags Liddell and Spicy, both on 141. P6 is Plevs on 136, followed by ACW on 133. Then Vengeance, Costa's teammate, on 124, followed by Pump on 92 and Hilles on 87 points. In the Constructors, Williams are leading on 372 points, followed by Mercedes-Benz on 274. It's a huge margin, 98 points between the top two in the Constructors' Championship. There is a chance for Mercedes to really gain some points on Williams, as they've only got one car in this race. But as it stands, Williams, they're not looking like they're going to lose this championship. Ferrari are just behind Mercedes. They're on 263, followed by McLaren on 228. Aston Martin are next on 189, followed by Red Bull Racing on 170. AlphaTauri are next on 128, followed by Haas on 116. Then Alpine on 62. And at the bottom of the table is Alfa Romeo on 33 points. Well, that's pretty much it in terms of news. We can now focus on this qualifying session. And this is where I would introduce my co-commentator, who is KD1997, but he's currently absent. He has informed me he will be joining, most likely in the middle of the sprint race. So for now, I'm on my own, but hopefully we should have a co-commentator at some point during this event. As it stands right now in this qualifying session, Vengeance is at the top of the table with a 1 minute 7.931. He is the only driver in the field so far to set a time in the 7s, as championship number 2, Ferrari Pro, crosses the line. He jumps up to the top and takes P1, 1 minute 7.655. As I said, with Costa out of this event, as Andre doing a bit of lawn mowing in that Haas, There's a real shout for Ferrari Pro to take the championship lead after this round. It's really unfortunate what's happened to Marcus. Just this freak storm down in South Australia, and apparently over 80,000 people are left without power at the moment. That's how severe the storm is right now. So no, hopefully everyone gets out of that unscathed. And yeah, unfortunate to you, Marcus, for what's happened. Really quite unfair, but unfortunately you can't argue with Mother Nature as Plebs crosses the line to go P4 with a 1 minute 8.3. Hilles has just begun a flying lap, and Spicy's about to get his. We're right on board with the Mercedes driver, giving you a tour of this awesome 4.3 kilometre racetrack. Into turn 1, the beginning of the Senna S. You need a nice run through here, and critically around turn 3, Curva de Sol, as you head on to the Retro-Aposta. DRS open, shifting into top gear as you head towards Descida do Lago. Turns 4 and 5, a nice overtaking spot on the circuit. You don't want to run too wide here, and you don't want to get lazy here at the exit of turn 5. Very easy just to drift wide there. Through turn 6, into turn 7, and up towards turn 8. This is a potential overtaking spot right here. You can see drivers send it down the inside into the right-hander. Around the left-hander of turn 9. Oh, a big snap of oversteer there. Around turn 10, into the hairpin of turn 11. Another one of the overtaking spots on the circuit. Around turn 12, up towards Junsao, turn 13. Probably the most important corner on the racetrack, because how well you go through that corner will dictate how fast you travel through turn 14 and the final corner, turn 15. Essentially, Junsao dictates how much speed you carry through the final sector, as Spicy goes P4 with a 1 minute 8.070. BP, who has been on fine form as of late, yet to set a lap time in this session. He's making his way around turn 8 into turn 9, down to third gear, getting back on the accelerator, nice and progressive, and as soon as he hits the outside curb at turn 9, slams on the accelerator. He knows the car has the grip. Down the hill through turn 12, a tricky left-hander, very easy to get it wrong, and then into Junsao. He's apparently purple to the middle sector. Nice, healthy use of the curb there on the outside of turn 13. Around turn 14 and up towards the final corner, turn 15. What does this look like? What does this lap look like from BP? It's P3, 1 minute 7.880. Currently 2/10 off his teammate Ferrari Pro. ACW currently occupies P2 with a 7.849. He is just under 2/10 off Ferrari Pro's pole time. Plebs going back into the pits. Whitey getting ready for another run. Pump, he'll be moving into the pits here. See a Mercedes getting out of the way. That would be Spicy. GeForce Pato looks like he's ducking back into pit lane here. He's not going to try and complete this run. Easy Mac, a new name I believe, has joined the ranks of the Elite Series, driving for Alfa Romeo, as ACW's been disqualified. What's happened? He's blocked the pit lane. You can see his Mercedes is making his way through the pits as Easy Mac decides to do some lawn mowing. But yeah, ACW's been disqualified while he was making his way out of pit lane. He must have spun the car, and it looked like from where the car stopped, he might have lost control at the exit of, I suppose the exit of turn 1, I guess, the best way of describing it. Sort of the left-hand corner as soon as you flick off the limiter to make your way out of the pits, as Nick has a moment at turn 6. So yeah, ACW's been disqualified. He'll start from the back. It's now Ferrari 1-2 here at Interlagos as Roscoe begins a flying lap, making his way into the center S. Turns 1 and 2, fourth gear, around turn 2, now around Curva de Sol, turn 3. Absolutely flat out through that left-hander. You keep it nice and narrow at the exit as well. There's no need to use the extra track on the right-hand side, simply because of how much downforce these cars produce. Not enough downforce, it would seem, for Roscoe as he loses control and puts it into the wall. Fortunately, he rejoins safely and doesn't impede any other driver. But that was an unlucky moment there. The car just gave up at corner exit, and thankfully he's not out of the session either. Ferrari Pro passes the stricken AlphaTauri as he heads up the hill around turn 7 into the hairpin of turn 8, down to third gear. Does he shift down to second through here? No, he just keeps it in third. Nice and steady. Up to 4. 5th gear around turn 10. Into the hairpin of turn 11. Down to 3rd gear. Nice and gentle on the accelerator. Then down the hill through the tricky turn 12 and up towards Junsao. Middle sector says he's up by 0.2 of a second. And that's a lot of time to find here at Interlagos. You can see the lap times themselves. They're relatively short. So to find 0.2 of a second is quite an improvement. Here comes Ferrari Pro up towards the line. It's a 7.445. As Vengeance jumps up to P2 with a 7.516. BP getting ready. Bags currently P4. He's looking pretty good right now. YT going back into the pits. Pump has just completed a lap, set an 8.345. Currently P8. They're going back into the pits. Pato getting ready. Andre making his way around the circuit, not using any battery, so it looks like he was on a flying lap, decided to bail out on it, and he might be going back into the pits. Easy Mac getting ready. GeForce Pato getting ready as well as he makes his way around the final 2 corners to begin another flying lap. Currently P11 with an 8.9. He has to improve quite considerably in order to try and get into the top 5 as he heads. Why are we still on this camera angle? Gee whiz, we stuck on that camera angle for so long. Through turn 1 into turn 2 and around curve of Dissolve, turn 3. Up through the gears and again hugging that inside. Oh, not so much there from Pato. He took a more traditional racing line. Typically, from the esports guys, you see them hug the inside all the way around the corner. But Pato's up to the first sector. He was up by 0.2. A slow Haas in front. Gets out of the way. That must be Hilaz as Andre is in the pit lane. Around turn 6 and turn 7. Then into the hairpin of turn 8. Down to 2nd gear. Short shifts back up to 3rd. Then down to 2nd again for turn 9. Then up to 4th at the exit of the left-hander. Around turn 10 and into the hairpin of turn 11. Down to 2nd gear. And again short shifting up through the gears. Just trying to find that extra traction. Nice run out to turn 12. And he's currently up by quite a bit as well. 6/10 he's found. Really nice job. With that sort of improvement, he can jump up to the top 6. He needs to find more time, though, to jump up into the top 5. Around the final corner, up towards the line. Is it a 7 from Pato? Oh, not quite. It's an 8.1. P6 with that lap time. Spicy, it looks like he's on an in-lap. You on a flight? No, you're not. You're not using any battery. So BP and Spicy, they're on in-laps. BP set a 7.7. Spicy's got a 7.8 next to his name. Setting P3 and P4 at the moment. Easy Mac, he's on an in-lap, it would seem. Vertex just improved to an 8.1. He's just beaten GeForce Pato by 0.002 of a second. Seems like Plevs is going to complete this flying lap. Can he improve? He'll set an 8.020 P6. An 8 flat. Not too bad at all. Vaults up a few positions. Roscoe beginning another flying lap. Making... Oh, no! He began a flying lap. It hasn't ended too well. Oh, big old mistake there at turn 3. Lost control of the car. Gathered it up well. He's still running, that's the main thing, and it appears he's still going to push. Makes his way out of turn 5, up the hill towards Ferradura. Turn 6 and 7. 6th gear, keeping it in 6 all the way around, and then into the hairpin of turn 8. Down to 2nd gear, up to 3rd gear. Then will he use 2nd again? No, he just keeps it in 3rd, nice and steady. Then short shifts up to 4th, actually. Desperately trying to find that traction at corner exit. Down the hill around the treacherous turn 12. 5th gear, 6th gear. Then up towards Jun South, turn 13. Down to 4. Clips the apex pretty well there. Didn't need to use that inside curve. He got wonderful rotation there at the apex. And around turn 14 and up towards turn 15. With DRS open, up towards the line for Roscoe. Now with that mistake, it's not going to be the most competitive lap. It's P12 with essentially an 8.7. He's 1,000th under an 8.7. So he's definitely got more time that he can find. Just needs to find it. And fortunately, with so much time left in this qualifying session, and because of how short the lap is, drivers will have the opportunity to try and set one more flying lap. A lot of these guys will have the opportunity to set one more flying lap in this session. As Andre makes his way around the final corner up towards the line for the Haas driver, it's going to be an 8.444 P12. He overtakes Roscoe with that lap, beating the AlphaTauri driver by about 2.5 tenths. Hello, Clunky. Nice to see you in the chat as well. Now, got a few drivers on that lap. We've got a lot of drivers just waiting patiently for the clock to tick down to about with 2 minutes left. That's the most optimal time to go out. About 2.5, 2 minutes, somewhere in that range. Give you enough time to get your tyres up to temperature and get yourself mentally ready for the final run. I mean, it's not a long lap here at Interlagos, but it's a lap that demands a decent amount of perfection. Like, you can't really afford to make a mistake at any single corner, any of the 15 corners around the racetrack, because those couple of tenths that you lose at that corner, it's going to cost you quite a few positions in the long run. Because you can see how tight it is from P1 all the way down to P13. That's 1 second. So you really, honestly, cannot afford to make a single mistake at any one of these corners around this racetrack. You need to be absolutely spot on the entire way round. It's a bit like Red Bull Ring in a way, where you only have 10 corners. If you make a mistake at one particular corner, it does cost you. It does cost you a fair bit of track position in qualifying. Vengeance crosses the line to begin what could be his final flying lap. He's got 2 minutes left on the clock, so if he does make a mistake on this lap, he should have enough time to do another one. Out to turn 2 and around Curva de Sol, turn 3. Hugging that inside line all the way around, he'll open DRS and head down the Reta Aposta towards Descida do Lago. First sector says he is way down. Hugely down by 3.5 tenths. And you can see as well, he's got the brake on. He's got the brake and accelerator on at the same time. He's trying to recharge his batteries for another run. Ferrari Pro makes his way around Descida do Lago. Up the hill towards turn 6. 7th gear. Revs it out in 2nd. Back down to 6th gear for turn 6. Around turn 7 and into the hairpin of turn 8. Down to 3rd gear. Back on the accelerator. Around turn 9. Nice and steady from Ferrari Pro. No wheel spin whatsoever. The man who is currently 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. Down the hill and around turn 12. What will the clock say here in the middle sector? It says he's down, but not by much. By 32 thousandths of a second. Looked like a nice run out of Junsao. He's got 2 corners remaining. The flat-out left-handers of turns 14 and 15. What will this lap time look like from Ferrari Pro? It will be a 1 minute 7.432. He improves by 13 thousandths of a second, so he did find time in the final sector. Not a great deal, but those few thousandths may make the difference. Down the Reta Aposta goes Vengeance. What will the clock say to the first sector? It says he's up by a little bit, by 46 thousandths of a second. BP meanwhile crosses the line and he stays P3, cannot improve on his current PB, and I think with the time left on the clock he won't be moving up any more positions. P3 is the best he can hope for. Around turn 8, around the short left-hand sweeper of turn 9. Have to be so careful on the throttle on the exit here. If you get too eager, you spin. You can see from Vengeance, he's well and truly under control as he heads down the hill. That Mercedes in the background, it wasn't in control. That has to be Spicy, losing it at turn 4. What an amazing coincidence. Oh, and a spin at 13. Vengeance was up by a huge margin at the end of the middle sector, and he's thrown it away at turn 13. Yeah, you see Spicy pulling off to the side. There's a AlphaTauri in front. Also off the road, that would have to be Roscoe because Pato is still in the pits. Bags Liddell, meanwhile, he's down to the middle sector as he heads up the hill and around turn 14. Can he find any time here in the final sector? He opens DRS, heads around the final corner, crosses the line now, and does not improve. Misses out on his personal best by a tenth of a second. Easy Mac is well and truly down on his time. He's not improving. Andre spins at Junsao as well. And Roscoe, his session is over. So Ferrari Pro qualifies on pole position for the sprint race here at Brazil. A 1 minute 7.432 beats a 1 minute 7.516. Not much separating the top two. I believe that's 84 thousandths of a second between the top 2 cars at the end of qualifying. Just be waiting on all the drivers to complete the session. and we can move ourselves on to the sprint race. Now, I haven't got a weather report, so I've got no idea what the conditions are going to be for either the sprint or the main race. I'm completely left up in the air, so be interesting to see what the conditions are going to be like. But yeah, I agree, Clunky, that camera angle was quite a good one for that particular scenario. The game's race director actually doing me a solid for once. It's quite nice. Sue indeed broke vegan. Yeah, I noticed, I didn't see it directly, ACW, but I did notice your dot just becomes stationary at pit exit. So you've got a fair bit of work to do. You have to do the Lewis Hamilton simulation over here. Lewis Hamilton race. Start from the back and make your way forward. That's your job right now, down in last. But the results from our qualifying session: Ferrari Pro will start from pole, Vengeance P2, followed by BP and Spicy, Plebs P5, followed by Bags Adele, Vertex is P7, then Hillez, Easy Mac, and GeForce Pato rounds out the top 10. Whitey's 11th, Nick is 12th, followed by Pump and Andre, Roscoe Arm 15th, then Marvelin, and ACW has to start from the very back in 17th position. I see ACW, I'll go and check. I mean, why not? I've got time. Let's have a look. So yeah, you're making your way out of the pits. Nice and steady. Turns left. Oh! Yep. And you got disqualified from that. Okay. So yeah, you lost control coming out of the left-hander. You put it into the left-hand side wall, but the car hasn't stopped yet, so it slams into the right-hand side wall to where you get stuck, and the game disqualifies you. That's got to suck. That's got to suck. But it happens, unfortunately. Little pit mishaps. Oh. Hello, KD, as well. Oh. Now, as you can see from the conditions around the racetrack, we don't have any rain, but it's definitely overcast, so we may see some rain during the race, we may not. I have absolutely no clue. Drivers will set off on their formation lap. Let's see who's starting on what tyre. Interesting. It's convincing, but we do have a few interesting variables here and there. So basically everyone is starting on the medium compound tyre. As you'd expect, it's a sprint race. The soft tyre... See, this is Brazil. Soft tyre... It could do it. I reckon it could do 12 laps. But I reckon the tyres will be pretty buggered by the end of the race. But then again, if we have safety cars at some point, which, knowing Brazil, is entirely possible, it may work. And Vengeance is one of those drivers taking a gamble, starting on the soft tyre. So are the final two, Marvelin and ACW. And this is completely understandable. You're starting last and second last. You might as well try something. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, well, it's not like you lost any more positions anyway. So, why not? Give it a go. But everyone else is on the medium compound tyre. Everyone else. So, this is going to be a pretty straightforward sprint race, I would think. It only becomes not so straightforward when safety cars start to get involved, or there is a change in weather conditions, or we get plenty of on-track battling. Don't know why you bother giving me the predicted pit stop strategy game. It's a sprint. Pretty obvious what the teams are going to do. That's alright, KD. Oh. Everyone's lining up onto the grid. Now, Ferrari Pro is starting on the outside towards turn 1. He's on the cleaner side of the racetrack, so he should get a better start. But Vengeance, he's on the soft tyre, and he has the inside line. So if Vengeance can get a nice launch, he could lead into the opening corner. All the drivers are lined up. Got 12 laps in front of us, and no red lights at the moment. Don't tell me we have a lobby glitch. Honest to God, don't tell me we have a lobby glitch. You can see everyone's stationary. We have no lights. It's apparently green. Nick's left the session. Oh, now we have lights. Here we go. We've got 10 red lights. And the sprint race is underway here in Sao Paulo. It's a nice start from BP, from P3. But here comes Ferrari Pro down the middle into turn 1. Contact between Vengeance and BP. And it sends Vengeance around at turn 1 and tumbles down to last position. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now Plebs is in P3 under attack from Vertex, who slots into the slipstream as they head towards the Cita de Lago. Not close enough to attack there for P3. Vertex in a very healthy P4 right now. Easy Mac in 5th, followed by Spicy. Bags Liddell in 8th position. He's got Gilles, the 2 Alpines directly behind him as Nick rejoins the session. Nicely done there by Nick. Now into the hairpin of turn 8. Oh, a bit of a moment there as Gilles had to... Well, sorry, Bags had to give room because Gilles went down the inside. And he has the inside line into this hairpin at turn 11. Sends it in, gets the nose in front, gets the car in front now. He takes P8. An aggressive move, but all in all a clean one. Well done from both drivers. Yeah, a bit of a dramatic start. Poor Vengeance. Shafted immediately at turn 1. Contact between himself and BP. And he got the short end of the stick. He got spun round and he plummeted all the way down to the bottom of the order. Something's happened to Andre. Spinning at turn 14. How have you done that? As we got a couple of drivers in the pits. Bags Liddell is in. ACW is in. So maybe ACW caught up with Vengeance's spin. Maybe hit the Williams. Maybe. But Bags Liddell, yeah, he got caught up in something that I didn't quite see. You see the biggest gainers and losers on the opening lap. Biggest gainer is Easy Mac in P5. He's made up 4 spots after starting 9th. Biggest losers at the moment, Vengeance down 12. Bags Liddell down 10. Yellow flags are out. Oh, and Gilles. Gilles spinning out. Ooh. No, going slowly, I guess. Back in P11. Certainly looked like his dot was stationary. He must have gathered it up quite quickly. Got himself going again. Down the hill and around turn 12. See this midfield train all tightly bunched up. Hopefully we get to see some action. Oh, what's happened here? Vengeance had a moment. He came to a dead stop. Almost at turn 13. But yeah, what a shocking start for him. Really shocking. Qualified P2, put together a really nice lap. Be a contact between him and BP at turn 1. And unfortunately, when you do that, when there's front wheel to side pod contact, the car that hits with its front wheel, it always gets spun. It's always how it works in the video game world. So, yeah, super unfortunate for Vengeance. He's got tons and tons of work to do. Around turn 8 and through turn 9 go the 2 leaders of Ferrari 1-2. Plebs occupying 3rd with Vertex right behind. Vertex put together a really fine drive last week in France. A podium finish for him. It's really tidy, kept it out of trouble, made the right strategy calls as well. And he's now in a really strong position once again in 4th place. They head around Junsao and head up the hill. They go around turn 14 and turn 15 at the end of the racetrack. Now Vertex got DRS and is closing in on Plebs. Not by enough though to really bother the McLaren driver. But he is there, just trying to apply a little bit of pressure. Down the hill through turn 2, into turn 3. This Red Bull looks very stable, very much under control. DRS open again and just closing in bit by bit. Literally bit by bit. Not a massive gain down that straightaway. Evidently Plebs has got a really fast car in a straight line as Pump overtakes Nick. Gilles trying to go around the outside here at turn 4. Run wide and has to stay in P11. Yeah. Some hard battling going on back here as Gilles trying to go around the long way at turn 6. Will he dive it down the... No, he runs wide. My goodness, he ran wide. I thought he might try and cut in, try and dive it down the inside of the hairpin, but he ultimately didn't end up going for it. Now into turn 11, and deep on the brakes, closing up on the Alpine. Not by enough though to attack this time around. Pump minding his own business, trying to build a margin to the cars behind, trying to catch up to the car in front, which is Whitey. Vertex closing in. Oh, not quite. He actually lost a little bit of time to Plebs over the course of that lap. It closes in at turn 1. There are the 2 leaders. Here comes the rest of the field, down through the center S. Nice train of cars here with Plebs, Vertex, Easy Mac, and Spicy. Not too far behind is GeForce Pato as well in 7th position. Into turn 4. Nice and tidy from everyone in the group. Out of turn 5 and heading up the hill. So none of these guys are quite close enough. Vertex needs to get a really nice run through this middle sector. Try and set up and move into turn 1 if he can. If not, well, P4 is not a bad starting position for the main race. And you do get points. Top 10 score points in the sprint race. 10, 9, 8 all the way down to 1. Nice simple points format. But it means that, you know, there's actually something to play for. So you can go for those extra points, or you can try and settle where you are position-wise. Just bank the points you've got. Vertex closing in, but not really looking like he's going to try and challenge Plebs anytime soon. Hillez, Nick, battling away. Hillez gets through. He's into P10. Should be close enough that he'll get DRS down the Retro Aposta. Thanks to Pump being 9/10 in front. Yep, there we go. He does have DRS. And that will mean Nick won't be able to counter-attack here into turn 4. He'll have to stay behind. Back to this battle for P3 on track as they head around turn 8 and through turn 9. Vertex just hovering behind, waiting for his moment to strike. Well, the 2 leaders continue to pull away. They've got 3 seconds over the rest of the field. 3 seconds over this battle pack. Through turn 12, up towards turn 13. See how close Vertex is now. Got a pretty tidy run, I have to say, out of turn 13. And he is using battery. You can see that up the hill. And you can see Plebs is flashing. He doesn't have much battery left. Down the main straightaway towards turn 1, he's gaining, but not by a huge amount. Still just chipping away, but he is a lot closer this time around. Out of turn 2, and around Curva de Sol, turn 3. Buried in that slipstream. Shadowing the McLaren as BP and Ferrari Pro. The 2 Ferraris are battling for the race lead. Out to turn 5, they're side by side. Up the hill towards turn 6. It's wheel-to-wheel stuff, but Ferrari Pro with the inside line, not able to hang on. He ran wide, and BP went through. Down the inside at turn 7. I thought Ferrari Pro had that, but he overshot turn 6 and didn't slow the car down enough for turn 7. Basically left the door wide open, rolled out the red carpet for his teammate. BP's taken the lead. Out of Junsao and heading up the hill. It isn't quite over yet. Ferrari Pro will have DRS down the main straightaway. Can he try and counter? Can he try and put his teammate under pressure? BP's looked in fine form over these past few races, looks somewhat unbeatable. Here comes Vertex, looking down the inside at turn 1. Got the cars confused, and through goes Vertex into P3. What can Plebs do to counter? He's dumping battery. That's what he's doing. See Vertex, he's built up a small gap already. You can see him move. Here comes Plebs though, with a whole heap of straight line speed. And there goes Spicy! Big Olsen has to cut the track. He almost hits Easy Mac as well. But Spicy up to P5 with a big send at turn 4. Just about pulled it up. Had to cut the racetrack, but all in all, no one got hurt. So we race on, unaffected. That's the main thing. Bags Adele, a 3-second time penalty, just to rub some extra salt into the wound. Down 11 spots from where he started. Yeah, looked good in qualifying, but unfortunately here in the sprint, it's all turned upside down. Oh, as Ferrari Pro gets awfully close to the back of BP's car. He got very, very close. Speaking of close, he might have a go here. Opens DRS. Closing in. Not bothering to use any battery. Will he look to the inside? No. I think he shut off the DRS early, from what I heard. He wants to stay behind his teammate here. continuing to build a margin to the rest of the pack. Vertex holding third. He's got half a second to Plevs. Plevs just dropping back. Just a little bit here, a little bit there. He'll gain with DRS though. He needs to put together a really nice middle sector here to try and challenge Vertex on the next lap. Into turn 8. Ferrari Pro not close enough to try and challenge BP right now. To be honest, quite a nice sight to see two Ferraris battling at the front. Don't see this too often. Out of turn 11. Down through turn 12. And into Junsao turn 13. Again deep on the brakes. BP got a slightly better exit. I think he got slightly better rotation as well at the apex. Gained him a few hundredths, and it keeps Ferrari Pro at bay. Meanwhile, Vertex, he's actually gained a little bit here. Just a little bit through that middle sector. Now starting to lose again, 4.3 seconds behind the top two. But he's keeping Plevs at bay. That's the most important thing he has to worry about. Just keeping Plevs at bay. Oh, Spicy gets close to Plevs. Might have a battle on for P4 in a few moments' time. Heading up the hill once again, up towards turn 6 and 7. Chucking it in. Keeping it nice and tight all the way around. We saw what happened with Hillez. If you don't keep it tight around the corner, you just understeer wide and go off into the runoff area. And we saw what oh, a big old wiggle from Plevs. And here comes Spicy down the inside. They're side by side around the right-hand hairpin. Now down the hill and around turn 12. Plevs has the inside line, but Spicy's trying to fight around the long way. Now into Junsao. Oh, and Spicy almost gets hit by Easy Mac. I think Spicy checked up early to let Plevs maintain his position. And Easy Mac almost went into the back of him. And now Pado's joined the fight. Down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Spicy looking round the long way here. Into the centre S. Dives it in deep and has the inside line at turn 2. And takes P4 from Plevs. But Plevs will have DRS. And he's got some pretty decent straight line speed in this McLaren. He draws alongside. He gets a nose in front. In fact, he gets a cold car in front. He takes back P4. Around turn 5. Up the hill towards turn 6. Now Vertex has got a bit of a gap. 1.2 seconds. He can now just keep his eyes forward. Try and hit every apex and not make a mistake. That's his goal right now. Top 2, they're long gone. They're having their own little battle. As Ferrari Pro, if he can get a nice middle sector going, he might be able to challenge BP, but we'll keep an eye on this. Just for a brief moment. Just to make sure nothing happens here without me knowing it. Alrighty. Ferrari Pro, what are you going to do? He's got battery to spend. So does BP. He gets 30%. Ferrari Pro is in single digits. It's going to be tough to get by. See, battery plays such an important factor in races. You need to make sure that you can save it so you can use it at the right time. Ferrari Pro will not be close enough to challenge into turn 4. Plevs, he's got a bit of a margin now to Spicy. He should be able to keep P4. Easy Mac not quite close enough to challenge the Mercedes into the Cedar do Lago. Neither is GeForce Pato in P7. So this battle train, positions stay the same. Meanwhile behind, you have a few battles elsewhere. A 4-car fight for what is P8. We've got 3 of the final point scoring spots, P8, 9 and 10. All up for grabs. Down the hill, through turn 12 for the final time. Ferrari Pro gets close. As Vertex makes a mistake. He throws away a P3 on the final lap at the exit of turn 12. Around the final corner, it's a Ferrari 1-2 here in the sprint. BP from Ferrari Pro. And Plevs has been gifted a podium finish. P3 for him, Spicy 4th, Easy Mac 5th, Pato 6th, then Pump, Hillez, Whitey and Roscoe Arm finishes in the 10. And I'm sure a disappointed Vertex, what could have been a P3, chucked it away with only a few corners left. Vengeance recovers to P12. He has got a mammoth job to do in the main race. He's certainly a very capable driver. Be interesting to see how he fares. Pump, given driver of the day. See how he fared in the final results screen. So, the unofficial results from the sprint. BP is your race winner from Ferrari Pro in second. A 1-2 for Ferrari with Plevs third, then Spicy. Easy Mac rounds out the top 5. P6 is Pato, followed by Pump, who came up from 13th place. No wonder he was given driver of the day. Made up 8 spots, kept out of trouble. He gets a points finish. Hillhead's P8, Whitey 9th, and Roscoe Arm will end up scoring the final point in 10th. Vertex 11th. Man, you got a feel for the guy. Making a small mistake, it's easily done at turn 12. Vengeance, as I mentioned before, a lot of work to do from P12. Nick 13th, Marvelin 14th, followed by Andre ACW, another driver with a lot of work to do, and Bags Liddell. Yeah, got caught up in early lap drama. Qualified P6, qualified very well, but unfortunately was shafted by some incident I didn't quite catch during the opening lap. Yeah, you need a bit of luck, ACW. A lot of drivers probably need a little bit of luck, especially in those sprint races, because they're not long enough for you to recover position. You need to rely on the fact that you keep out of trouble in those sprint races, because if you get into it, there's no coming back. The races are too short for there to be safety cars most of the time, though it's certainly not impossible. Oh, I see. Yeah, it happens. Hello, KD.
Good evening.
Better late than never.
Yeah, this came back from work, but good to be here at least.
Yeah, no. Caught bits of the sprint, I presume. How did you feel?
Yeah, I did see a little bit. It's a good racing, I see. Yeah, it was good to see, like you mentioned, the Ferraris be battling first and second.
Yeah, you don't see it all too often in real life, or even in the virtual world. It's just quite a nice sight to see 2 Ferraris going at it, rather than a Ferrari and somebody else. So, it's nice.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, what happened to ACW during qualifying? Like, why did he get disqualified?
Oh, he blocked the pit lane exit. He lost control of the car and hit the wall, and his car got stuck for a brief period. And you know what happens when your car, comes for a stop for 1 or 2 seconds in pit lane exit? The game will just disqualify you. Even if your car is mobile, even if your car isn't truly stuck, it will disqualify you. So,
yep,
just really unfortunate. Like. It happens. So.
Yeah, I know what that's like. That is crap.
Going through a quick rundown of the order. Top 4 on the hard compound tyre. So BP, Ferrari Pro, Plevs and Spicy. They're all on the hards. Easy Mac P5 is on the mediums. Pato's on the hards. Pump is on mediums. Hillez, Whitey, Roscoe Arm, Vertex and Vengeance are all starting on the hard tyre. Nick in P13, Marvelins in P14 and Andre in 15th. Are all starting on mediums, and ACW and Bags Liddell, P16 and 17, are starting on the hard tyre. So we've got 5 cars on the mediums and 12 cars on the hards. Tell you what, KD, what do you reckon you're going to see in this race? We've got a bit of a mix-up in terms of strategy. We've got overcast conditions as well. Looking forward to this?
Yeah, Interlagos is also known for having some wet weather racing as well. We've seen that in numerous occasions in real life and in the virtual world. And of course, with knowing Brazil's climate, of course, I would, well, judging by the conditions, maybe for anyone that's on the hard, maybe they're looking for a long stint, and if the rain does come, maybe they take the chance of going to the Oh yeah, exactly. Better to be late than never. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that could be just a rough guess. But if it is that case, we could be coming into an interesting race. It always is in Interlagos.
16 to 21. That is the pit window period to get off the mediums and onto a set of hards. So important to keep those laps in mind. Now, hopefully we don't have a starting glitch again. I think we all set and ready to go again. for the second time here at Interlagos. We got 10 red lights. And we're underway for the main race. It's a nice start from BP. It's a nice start from Plebs as well from P3. Down the middle he goes. Down the inside he tries to go for the lead. Can't quite get it. He's P2 for now. Ferrari Pro down to third. Easy Mac in fourth. But he's challenged by the Mercedes-Benz of Spicy as they head out of turn 3 and down the Retro Aposta towards turn 4. Leaders chopping and changing position. Trying to find their way through. Everyone, Easy Mac, not the best of runs, out of turn 4. Side-by-side action heading up the hill. It's Pato and Pump. Pato gets in front. Pump down to P7 as they head around turn 8. The tight hairpin. Everyone looking pretty... running wide as Pato has to use a lot of the inside curb. And that's because Pump is trying to force the issue. Contact and off the road! Spinning into a Haas! And now into almost into the wall. But Pato and Pump came together. And I believe that was Andre who got the short end of the stick there. I think he got damage. Or was it Hilles who got the damage there?
I think it was Andre that got... I'm looking.
It's Hilles. He's got a missing end plate on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I was going to say Andre didn't have damage, but yeah. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. But yeah, those two were just scrapping it out, and that was just unfortunate contact, really. Tight racing
between Vengeance and ACW into turn 1. ACW trying to look around the outside. Vengeance covering the inside, but they'll turn to the outside here at turn 2, but back to the inside at turn 3 as Ferrari Pro has been overtaken by Mac, only just though, by only a couple of millimeters as they head into turn 4. Ferrari Pro fighting around the long way, trying to keep this battle alive, but because of the traction of the medium compound tyre, Easy Mac will take P3, and just behind them is Spicy in P5, just hovering behind in 5th. Can he find a way by here at turn 8? Not quite close enough. But Pump, quite lucky, he was forced off the road, managed to gather it up though, and he stays in P6.
Yeah, I thought he would have maybe got some sort of damage in that incident too, but somehow he just got away with it. But a really nice start, 1.3 seconds up the road to Plebs. Yeah. But Ferrari Pro, yeah, he's not had the greatest of starts compared to what I saw in the sprints. He was in the lead for a while, now he's well, he's outside the podium places.
Yeah, no, he's got a fair bit of work to do. And as I mentioned, because Marcus isn't here, there's a good chance he could lead at the end of this round, could lead the Drivers' Championship, as DRS is now enabled, as it's lap 3 of 36 here into Lagos. Hello, Zach, as well. Nice to see you in the chat. As we head down the Retro Aposta towards Descida do Lago. Mac closing in, not by enough though to attack Plebs. Speaking of attacking, here comes Roscoe Arm on Whitey. Roscoe Arm is into P8. Whitey down to 9th, and there's ACW hovering behind as well. So Vengeance hasn't been able to get back at ACW. ACW now going on the attack down the inside at turn 6. You don't often see drivers do that, but he's made it work, and Whitey, he left the door open for his credit. He didn't want to fight him too hard, but he made sure he didn't lose too much time by leaving the door open either, staying right behind ACW.
Yeah, no, just clean racing there. A fair do, nonetheless. Just good side-by-side action. Speaking of good action, though, Mac, he might have the better chance of actually getting Plebs here, as they're all three of them are actually making their way down the main straightaway.
Here we go, DRS open for the upper amount. Yellows are out, it's Hilles losing control. At turn 7, and here comes Mac with a whole heap of speed, dives it down the inside. A big send here at turn 1, Montoya style, as he goes round the outside at turn 2, and he gets in front at turn 3. What an overtake from Mac there, but Plebs will fight back. No, he won't, he doesn't have DRS, really, wow. Mac has DRS, and here comes Ferrari Pro down the inside at turn 4. They're side by side through Descida do Lago, and in front goes Ferrari Pro into 5th.
Yeah, I think it was because of Mac just being behind Plebs at the detection line, because it's at the exit of turn 3. That's why. So that makes sense why he had DRS and Plebs didn't.
No, that was a big send there from Mac. Send it from a fair ways back. As I said, Montoya style. Montoya made a famous overtake on Michael Schumacher at that same spot at turn 1. Just a big old send. But pulled it off. Credit to both of them. Gave each other just enough room. They both made the corners, all three of them. No troubles whatsoever. So, no, good racing. Really fun to watch. But we got this huge train starting to form. Got Mac leading it. Ferrari Pro in second. Well, that might change here as he takes the lead of the train. Yes, he does. Wow, we saw an overtake down the inside. Now we've just seen one around the outside from Ferrari Pro. Great battling at the front.
Yeah, and that's something what Hamilton would do. Make him move around the outside turn one. We've seen him do that a few times.
Yep.
And make it pull and make it work.
See, it works because the next corner's a right-hander, so you have the inside line for turn 2. And if you can get a car width in front, you can basically cover the inside of turn 3 and prevent the guy behind from getting back at you. Now, you do need to rely on the fact that your car is pretty quick down the straights to make sure you don't get passed back down the Retroposta. But, hey, it's all pretty cool all around.
Oh, of course. I don't think this battle though is over yet, though.
I agree. It's definitely not over. Although Mac hasn't got the best of runs through Junsao, he's lost about a tenth and a half to Ferrari Pro, so I don't think he'll be able to attack this time around. And speaking of vulnerable, Plebs doesn't have DRS, so here comes Spicy. On the racing line, he's got momentum. Plebs, he's going to try and fight down the inside. Doesn't make it easy for Spicy, but Spicy ultimately gets in front. Plebs, though, will have DRS down the Retroposta. This is what I was talking about earlier. You give the car, you just overtook DRS, and Plebs is going to try and go around the outside here at turn 4. Spicy covers, though. Covers well. See there, Spicy was going to run Plebs out of road, so Plebs had to back off. Now he has Pump all over the back of him as they go through Ferradura.
Yeah, it's just... That was just clean defending, nonetheless, there for Spicy, nonetheless. Didn't push him off, didn't do anything silly like that. Speaking of the McLarens, though, they're battling now.
Oh, here we go. Through turn 9. Plebs and Pump not giving each other easy time of things. And with that little scrap that they just had, the gap's now increased to 1 second between Spicy and Plebs. Plebs might not have DRS on this lap. Coming out to turn 13. No, he definitely won't.
No, he won't. Nope.
Oh, yeah, here comes Pump then.
And he's got battery to play with, too.
Yep. Oh, look at the speed difference. Look at the speed difference, the overspeed.
Oh.
Gets him easily.
210. Well, 210 miles an hour on my end, but still.
It's like taking candy from kids. That was too easy. Just drove by.
Goodness me.
That's what battery does. That's what battery does.
Yeah.
You need that battery. Vertex not quite close enough to attack Plebs here at turn 4, but he's definitely close enough to try and apply pressure. Now Vertex, he put together a really solid race in the sprint that ultimately came apart with a single mistake, and he's looking to recover. Now he finished P11, he's now up in P7 right now, so he's made up a few spots. Who else has made up spots? Look at ACW. Look at that. 8 spots.
Yeah, he's 8 places after being 16.
Yeah. That's what happens when you keep out of trouble, keep your nose clean, just drive well. Yellows are out, and it's Ferrari Pro! Ferrari Pro has made a mistake at turn 12 and tumbles down the order. The man who was second in the Drivers' Championship has just made a critical mistake while his rival is absent. He's now down in 9th position and is potentially vulnerable to Roscoe. Oh, not quite. Ferrari Pro has DRS.
To counter it.
Yep, he's got DRS.
He must have made a mistake going down Bergoglio. That's easy to do as well, I found, with these things.
Yeah, that inside curve at 12 is nasty.
Yeah, or even the car just... Maybe
Vertex spinning at turn 3.
Yeah, 3. Yep.
Oh, dearie me. I was just complimenting him a few moments earlier. And he's just thrown all his hard work away. And he's now got more work to do. And now he's going to be tossed into a battle with NZ Andre and Bags Liddell. And through he goes on Bags. He saw an opening, he went for it. How about that? Hell has a spun. Hello,
he's in the wall. Is that a safety car?
Safety car.
Hello.
Front! Come on! Broken front wing on a half. Oh, I'm going to get PTSD from this.
That was literally on cue when I just said that too, by the way.
Oh my god, what is with this game? Every time. And it's so consistent that it can't be a coincidence. I promise you it's not a coincidence. Every time a Haas destroys their front wing, whether it be an end plate or their complete wing, it's a safety car. Every damn time. Every time. Every time.
Well,
it's going to give me... Oh, it's going to give me nightmares.
That is silly.
The amount of times I've seen it, it just can't be a coincidence. I've seen it all too often, where a Haas just breaks their wing and a safety car comes out. It's just not a coincidence anymore. It just happens. So if you're in a Haas and you desperately need a safety car, destroy your front wing. You get a free one. It is truly nuts.
Yes. I haven't seen it too often, but I have seen it happen a little bit on my end of commentary from other leagues where Haas destroys the front wing. But yeah, not like the amount of times you've just dealt
I've seen it all too often, man. It just can't be a coincidence at this point for me. Every time I see a Haas in the wall with a destroyed front wing, it's a safety car. 100% all the time. Every time. I've seen it at Singapore, I've seen it at Suzuka, I've seen it at Monza, and now I've seen it here in Brazil. It is not a coincidence. It's just it. And it doesn't matter what region you're from, whether you're from here in Oceania or over in the Americas or whatever. Every time I see a Haas go into a wall, break their front wing, it's a safety car. Every time. This game is going to make me just lose it, honestly. If I've not lost it already, to be honest.
Well, to be fair, I think I've told you how much I love this game.
Too
often.
Love is a strong word. It's a very strong, sarcastic word. But it perfectly describes it. Like, it is so abysmal that you just have to poke fun at it now. Just be sarcastic to null the pain.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Rant over. Let's talk about the race, eh?
Yeah. Or just, look into something else if you don't want to deal with this game.
Top 9.
But anyway.
They haven't made a pit stop yet. So BP Spicy Players ACW Ferrari Pro. He's now 5th. So it could be worse for him. If it weren't for this safety car, he would have a fair bit of work to do. Roscoe Arm, Whitey, Vertex, and Bags. Vertex, again, another lucky driver, is going to benefit thanks to this safety car. Easy Mac is the first driver who made a pit stop. Now, he started on the medium tyre, he's moved on to a set of hards, and he'll be trying to go to the end of the race on those. Isn't this eerily similar to what we saw at Circuit Paul Ricard with Vertex?
A little bit, yes.
He started on the mediums, right time with the safety car, and he's going to benefit. Unless, of course, we have another safety car, which will again shake things up. Easy Mac's in a really solid position right now. So is Pump, so is Andre as well, and Marvelin. They're all in fresh hards, ready to go to the end.
Probably a bit of flip in the script, too, in some sense.
Yes.
But we'll see what happens.
We're back under green flag racing here at Interlagos. BP restarts the race. We got yellow flags out already. Why?
What? I'm trying to look at... Oh, Pato?
Don't know.
He had some moments.
Oh, speaking of a moment, Bags with Dell.
Bags, hello! You're going very wide. Oh, jeez! Yeah, he almost hit the wall there.
Yeah, it turns out the Aston Martin F1 car isn't particularly good at rallycross. Who would have thought? Ferrari Pro overtaking ACW at Ferradura. He moves himself into P4. At the front, it was a pretty tidy restart, but something happened in the middle and it brought out yellows. Bags Liddell's trying to make up places. After what happened to him, he took a long lap penalty at turn 3. That's what he was doing. But the leaders, 3/10s, not much separating the top 2, but we know how much pace BP has. He's looked superb in every race that he's competed in. It's somewhat timed. Oh, Whitey, no. Oh, no.
He has lost it.
Yeah, he's doing some Alpine lawn mowing services right there on the inside of turn 12.
Yeah. He kind of made the same mistake Ferrari Pro made a little while ago.
Yeah. Here comes Vengeance and Easy Mac. A battle on for P8. Vengeance He's on pretty grippy tyres right now. 3-lap-old mediums as Roscoe gets a time penalty. Cut a bit too much there at turn 2. Here comes Ferrari Pro on the attack down the rest of Aposta. Will he send it here at turn 4? Not close enough. Didn't have the momentum either to really send it into the corner. So he has to stay behind in P4. Nice aerial shot though, looking down at the racetrack. See the cars make their way up the hill and around turn 6 and 7. Now into turn 8. You can see BP starting to build up a small margin. 7/10 over Spicy. Spicy needs to do all he can to keep within that 1 second range. Needs to stay within it. He needs that DRS. As Ferrari Pro is hounding the rear end of Plebs. He's all over the back of it as they head through turn 12 and up towards Junsao, turn 13. The Ferrari Pro, he'll be looking for a nice exit here. Not too bad, but I think Pleb's got a pretty decent one himself. Sitting in the slipstream, can he do anything?
Oh, here comes Ferrari Pro. He's using the battery. And he's got the slipstream and pulls the left-hand side. And brakes later. And makes the move.
I think Plebs just let him through as Vertex and Vengeance make their way through turn 2. It's tight. It is tight. Very tight. Contact tight.
Too tight.
Gee whiz. And here comes Easy Mac with a whole heap of momentum. Looking down the inside of Vertex, who's trying to cover the middle of the road, but ultimately can't do anything. He has to give up the position. He's down to P9, but he fights back.
Massive run.
Wow, he got an awesome run out of turn 4. Oh, it's tight at the entry at turn 6. As they head through turn 7, Plebs a penalty. 3 seconds now next to his name. Vertex can't fight back at turn 8. So Easy Mac into P8, Vengeance 7th on medium tyres. I wonder... I don't think those mediums can do the rest of the race, can they?
No, I don't think so. That's too long. He's got to do over 30 laps of that, doesn't he? No, or 20 laps.
20 laps, over 20.
20 laps, sorry. My math's wrong. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think that's a bit too much for those mediums to go through.
Spicy still has a little bit of DRS here. He'll be able to keep Ferrari Pro at bay. But I don't think he's going to keep Ferrari Pro back for too long. Ferrari Pro is putting the hammer down. He is flying out there. Out to the center S and around Cover de Sol.
You say that, but Spicy I think will get DRS. Because he's about 9... Yeah, he was about less than 9/10 behind BP because of that.
So yeah, BP not getting the best of runs through the first sector, it would seem. Because he had about a second on Spicy. But yeah, lost a couple of tenths through the center S. And it brought Spicy back into play and he keeps DRS. But again, Ferrari Pro's pace has been quite obvious right now. He's been really pushing hard as Marvelant has left the session. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin as soon as possible. Out of turn 11, down through the left-hander of turn 12. Bit of a wiggle, I think, there from Spicy. Just a small one as they head through turn 13. Nice and steady as they head up the hill. Oh, that's going to be tight. Does he have DRS?
No. I think he's got... No, really?
Yep.
Oh, well, there you go. Goodbye.
Yep.
I thought he would have gotten it. But
nope.
Okay.
Apparently
Fair
not.
enough. I thought he was less than a second behind, but there you go.
Well, he's definitely less than a second behind now. He'll get DRS here, but so will Ferrari Pro. Yep. Nothing the Spicer can do here. He's stuck in third. Yeah, no, I thought it was going to be close. I'm just curious which way it would fall, and it fell in Ferrari Pro's favour. Spicy didn't have any DRS. So there was nothing he could do.
It was close. Yeah, no, I mean, it was just close. But yeah, I just thought he would have had DRS in the way it looked.
Down the hill and around turn 9, Vengeance is giving Roscoe a bit of a hurry up. Can he find a way by here at the hairpin? He brakes a lot deeper. He's got softer tyres, fresher tyres, it is expected. And Vengeance, he's trying to make the most of what he has right now. That's his entire goal. Those tyres, they're going to have a hard time making it. If they do make it, they're going to be pretty shot by the end of the race. As Whitey's doing some lawn mowing again. He did a fair bit of lawn mowing that time. Gave it a proper cut. Rejoins.
Oh, yeah.
Pato, fastest lap as well.
53 yellow flags.
It's Whitey again.
Whitey again, yeah.
Vengeance into P6. Roscoe arm down to 7th. Marvelant has rejoined the session. The field heads into Desida do Lago. Really in a position to try and attack just yet. The gaps are close and the drivers are ready. Just need to wait for their moment to pounce. See, one of the very common things you tend to see around here are long DRS trains because of how competitive it is in the field in terms of lap time, in terms of car performance. So you tend to see a lot of DRS trains, and as we know, when you're stuck in the middle of them, you can't move forward at all. Or it's at least very, very difficult to move forward.
Yeah, you're just basically stuck. You just can't do anything. But yeah, and plus of how short the track is as well, that doesn't really help much of anything either, too, in some sort of sense.
ACW close, but as you can see, with both cars having DRS, nothing that ACW can really do. Plev's doing a good job maintaining 4th place. He does have a penalty next to his name, though, which may affect him, especially if we have a late race safety car at some point. Easy Mac looking down the inside here on Roscoe Arm. Gets it easy. Roscoe Arm doesn't fight that one. Just leaves the door open. Lets Mac get the position. Slots him behind. Although he's not exactly slotting him behind. He's looking to the inside there at turn 6. Maybe he wasn't quite done with it yet. He's definitely done now. I don't think you can challenge a driver who's got tyres that are twice as good as yours in terms of tyre life. So Roscoe Arm 16 lap old hards, Easy Mac 8 lap old hards, and that's quite a big difference in terms of tyre performance.
Ferrari, meanwhile, is in a shout of maybe getting VP here. If
Maybe.
he can, that is. If he can.
He did this in the sprint where he would hover behind BP, trying to keep up. He's got plenty of fuel as well. He's got 1.5 over, and that was thanks to the safety car. Oh, ACW down the inside. It was tight at the apex. Oh, and ACW loses it through turn 2 and loses it at turn 3. He spins, pirouettes at turn 3, and now points back in the right direction and gets going again.
That's unlucky. Oh, hello. Hi, my foot.
That was close.
Yeah, maybe too close.
Yeah, I reckon. But yeah, ACW, I thought he got it done. Like, he had to really send it in to turn 1. And it looked a bit clumsy at the apex. Both cars almost came to a stop. They checked up so much. But through turn 2, ACW didn't get a great run through the corner. Ran wide. And I guess he gassed it up on the curb and the car just spun. Oh, Vengeance gets by Plevs.
And Magulio.
And here comes Easy Mac. And Roscoe Arm. And basically the whole rest of the field is stuck behind. Easy Mac's got pretty decent straight line speed if I recall, so he should gain just a little bit. As you see, Plebs has DRS himself, so he won't gain much. And we've seen how decent Plebs' straight line speed is, so. And the Retro Aposta, here comes Easy Mac sitting in the slipstream. Yeah, just not close enough. Not close enough to attack into turn 4. Just keep the pressure up, just shadowing behind the McLaren. Just waiting for his moment to just pierce it down the inside somewhere and take the position. Oh, he sensed an opportunity there. I saw that wiggle, Mac. I saw that one. Coming out of turn 7, he wiggled it a little bit to the right. He definitely thought about it. Just a small wiggle, just a teeny tiny wiggle. I might be exaggerating things. He might have lost it at turn 7 and had to correct. But it definitely looked like he had a wiggle to have a look. And he thought, nah, probably not the best choice to go down the inside there.
Who knows? Maybe, or it could have been lag either way, but...
Yeah, it could be.
Well, here comes Vertex on Roscoe.
Yeah, simple move. Oh, hello.
Oh, well, never mind. That explains it all.
Yep, Roscoe, I'm in. He'll be putting on a set of medium compound tyres. Lap 20 of 36, he's going to be doing 17 laps on those tyres, which actually fits nicely into the pit window. Lap 16 to 21 was the pit window to get off the mediums onto hards. Those medium runners right now, on current numbers, have to do about 27, 28 laps on their tyres, and the game says they can do a max of 21. So these medium runners shouldn't make it. Around the hairpin of turn 11, then down the hill through turn 12. Ferrari Pro directly behind BP. Hasn't really sized up his teammate. He's just stuck behind. Nice run out of the left-hander from BP. You can see Ferrari Pro had to use a bit of battery to try and counter as ACW overtakes Andre. That was for P11. Into pits goes Spicy.
It's for BP, just trying to, like, I don't know if he was trying to fake his teammate or what. He would look like he was going into the pits and then just fake back out and going onto the racetrack.
I did notice a small weave.
Yeah.
But yeah. But, it'll be interesting when the Ferrari guys decide to pit. And here comes Mac down the inside at turn 4. It's tight between the two guys.
Oh. Yeah, he couldn't do anything there. He just didn't have the run. That's unfortunate.
Almost got clipped up at turn 5 though. Because I think he still had his front wing near the McLaren's rear tyre.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was a bit scared about the, the damage, the great damage model coming into effect. If those two came together.
Yep. Yeah, all it takes is a little bit and you get lime green and that's it.
Yeah, I know what... I think we all know what that's like. But now we got the Easy Mac with DRS. We'll bounce you shortly. And does. Oh, hello, Plebs. You're going this.
Yep, Plebs is going in. Pulls it up nicely. And they'll be switching onto a set of medium compound tyres. So again, important calls behind the safety car being made. Those drivers pitting off the mediums, going onto a set of hards. Mac is going to put himself in a really strong position. Like, those in front, those 3 drivers in front, still need to make a pit stop at some point. So, they head around turn 9, the top 2, the leading duo of BP and Ferrari Pro. Still running on these tyres. Waiting, praying for a safety car to come out. Praying for a Haas to break their front wing.
Don't tempt Andre Hilles.
You never know.
Yeah, true. You never know. But yeah, no. I think Mac is definitely in the greatest position of it. Even though he's about 2.3 seconds back, the Vegetarians will fall off the cliff. There's no way he can definitely go in an optimal pace, I should say. I don't know where I was going with that train of thought, but you know what I mean, basically.
He won't be able to get to the end without those tyres eventually falling off the cliff. He just won't... Well, there's a decent chance he'll get a puncture as well when he stretches those tyres out that long. Back to Dell, not quite close enough to attack ACW. Pato behind Pump. He's behind Easy Mac. Pump also in with a shot here. He's on the same strategy as Easy Mac, and he's 6 tenths behind, 7 tenths behind. So it's not over just yet. There is one other contender that Easy Mac has to deal with. And I think this is Easy Mac's debut. This is eerily similar to what happened with Vertex at Portland Cup.
Is it his debut?
I believe he's got the Alfa Romeo seat, from what I understand.
Okay. Well, if it is his debut, well, good on him.
Oh,
really.
Pump has a moment out of turn 13. He got sideways at the Junsao, but he managed to catch it quite well. Gee whiz. And he keeps himself within DRS range too.
Guess he took too much curb, I'm assuming.
Potentially, maybe got on the gas a bit too early. Something like that. Lost control, but gathered it up pretty well. Here comes BP, and I reckon BP's going to get an undercut here on Ferrari Pro. I would think, anyway. Yeah, he should.
Yeah, he should be able to.
There he is.
Just.
It's not much.
Yeah.
But it could mean something. You never know.
Oh, yeah. Plus, it's track position mainly, so...
Got to negotiate Marvelin though. He's set to go to the end of the race, so this is a genuine battle for P8. BP and Ferrari Pro have to fight their way past Marvelin. Marvelin isn't on some two-stop strategy. He's going to try and go to the end on those tyres. Around turn 11, down the hill and around turn 12. Marvelin being shadowed by... Oh, hello. Yellows are out.
Yellows are out. Oh, it's Pato. Pato. Oh. He's had a moment. Yeah, he was close to the top 3 at one point. Well, the 2 in front, I should say. But yeah, he must have had a moment.
And through go both Ferraris with ease. BP into 8th, 7th, sorry, now. Ferrari Pro into 8th as Bags Liddell makes his pit stop to move on to the medium compound tyre. Oh, out of Curva de Sol. Ferrari Pro right behind BP. Man, those guys have got a fair bit of catching up to do. Vengeance gets a time penalty.
Oh, Vengeance got the penalty. That's crucial for the
3
race.
seconds.
Yeah.
We have a late race safety car. These penalties matter. These penalties really matter. But yeah, these right two were our race leaders. What's the gap to the leader? 12.8 seconds.
Yeah, that's a bit of a ways to catch up.
It is.
Yeah, plus they got traffic to negotiate. Hello, Haas. Hello.
Silas.
He's off the road.
No broken front wing though. Like I said, this is going to give me PTSD as soon as I see that white dot. Spin out like that and into the wall! He's out of the race! This has to be a safety car. This has to be. Are you kidding me?
What?
This isn't a safety car. He threw it into the wall.
What?
Are you kidding?
This game never fails to amaze me.
Yeah. Broken front wing. Broken front wing, safety car. Destroyed race car, sitting next to... I'm done with this game. Again, I keep bringing this up. This reaffirms my theory. It is complete RNG when it comes to incidents on the racetrack. There's an incident, there's like debris or a damaged car or a broken car, right, on the racetrack. Yep. The game picks out a number, and whatever number it picks out, that's what race control will do. They'll either just wave yellows, bring out a VSC, or an actual safety car. I reckon that's what it is. I reckon that's the entire race control system in terms of determining what kind of action needs to be taken after an incident.
I would not put it past you there.
Like,
I mean, that's the same sort. It's the same sort of punctures too, as well. It's definitely RNG. Oh, hello.
Oh, and off the racetrack goes Ferrari Pro.
Oh my goodness!
BP pushed his teammate wide, and through goes Andre into 6th. He was there. He was definitely there.
Yeah.
If Ferrari Pro wasn't there, he wouldn't have been pushed off. So he was definitely there.
What son? Yeah, that's 100% of BP's fault there. Just put him off the circuit like that.
Gee whiz. And he gets a time penalty to boot. Multiple warnings. Oh, and he spun! He has spun!
Oh, that's just karma, I guess, for Ferrari Pro.
Oh my god. Oh, thank goodness the ghosting system was working there. Yeah, BP spinning at turn 6 and 7. He's now down to 11th. He's behind Plevs, Roscoe Arm as well, and Spicy. Oh, my goodness.
What drama have we just saw there?
Plenty of drama here at Interlagos.
Yeah, that's what Brazil brings you.
It's astonishing what kind of racing we get here. It is so incredible a lot of the time. Sometimes a race is boring here at Interlagos, do not get me wrong, as Plevs overtakes Roscoe Arm and BP gets by Roscoe Arm as well. But on a consistent basis, races always tend to be interesting here. The field is always competitive for qualifying. There's drama, there's chaos, there's side-by-side racing. You get the lot here at Interlagos, and it still bewilders me why the real-life Brazilian government want to build a brand new racetrack in Rio and move the Grand Prix there. You literally have the best racetrack in the world. Don't throw it away.
Yeah, just keep using it, yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. And Sao Paulo is a well-known location within Brazil. I mean, yeah, it's not the nation's capital, but come on.
I mean, who cares if it is? It's still it's a great
Apparently the
racetrack.
Brazilian government, so...
Well, I mean, yeah, I know. Yeah, well, even though Bolsonaro doesn't really listen to his people.
Oh, it's Pato Pits. He's done on those tyres. Here comes Spicy. Down the inside. Gets in front. Moves himself into P5. Andre down to 6th. There's Plevs, BP, and Marvelin behind. Battling away. 4-car train. Here for P7. Down the Retro Aposta. There's Spicy and Andre. Then comes this 4-car train. There's Vertex in the background. Into turn 4. Then turn 5. Then up the hill towards turn 6. BP closing in bit by bit. They head through the 2 right-handers. And into the hairpin of turn 8. Not quite close enough to attack here. Oh, goes deep. Has to use a lot of the inside curve there at the entry of turn 9. As they head into the hairpin of turn 11. Again, not quite close enough to attack here. As Pato gets a penalty. 3 seconds are now next to his name. Oh, a bit of a moment there from BP. Woo-wee! He was sideways there at turn 12. Caught it though, but he lost time.
Yep. Let's look at DRS. But meanwhile, top 2, the gap is starting to come down just a little bit though. I think Vengeance Tires might be starting to hit that peak.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Roscom getting by Marvelin. That's P9 now for the AlphaTauri driver. We've got 7 laps to go. We don't have long left in this race. Vengeance, he could still try and grab a podium out of this, but he needs to pray those tyres hang on. If they do hang on, he should get a medal for how well he's taking care of those tyres. But, yeah, you can tell, as you mentioned, with the gap shrinking, those tyres are starting to wear out quite a bit. Oh, and he spins! He spins at turn 12! He's throwing away the race lead. He doesn't have a puncture. He just lost control of the car. And he's now down to 3rd. And what could be 4th. Oh, he moves out of the way. That's very respectful there from Vengeance. He saw Ferrari Pro coming. And rather than taking the corner, he just lets him through. That's very nicely done. But I think that's an indication that he needs to come in and put on new tyres. No, he's going to keep going.
Fair enough, I suppose. I would have thought with you're on max, well, not max wear, but you're on good amount of wear on your tires, you should be at least pitting. I guess not. For his
he's going to keep pushing on. He's going to soldier on with those tires. Credit to him as well. I mean, why not? Yeah. I guess. What do you got to lose?
Pretty much.
6 laps to go. Well, 5.5 really. Pump doing his best. Try and keep up with Easy Mac, but Easy Mac's got a clear track in front. Hasn't put a foot wrong. This is going to be the 2nd debutant in a row that we'll see on the podium. And it's going to be a race win.
Yeah.
Hey, he's doing pretty well. He just needs to keep calm. Keep driving like he's driving. So,
bet you didn't expect that when he woke up in the morning.
Probably not, no. Decided to do a race here at Interlagos. And he's currently in a super strong position to win. Super strong, but he still has to worry about pump. He needs to worry about track limits. You cannot afford to get a time penalty now. Not now, not at this point. BP gets by Plevs now. That is for P6. His next target will be Spicy in P5. Pump a 3-second time penalty. I was talking about this, and Pump, he's the one who gets it. He now has 3 seconds. Ferrari Pro has a shot to take 2nd place. Well and truly has a shot, actually. Better tyres, and he's within 3 seconds already.
Yeah. So I'm looking at penalty situation, or warning situation. Easy Mac has got 1 more warning left. If he gets another warning, that's a penalty. Ferrari Pro has 1 warning. So he would have to get 2 to get a penalty, obviously.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just needs to keep it within the white lines, guys. That's all you gotta do.
That's all you gotta do. around turn 14 up towards turn 15 come the leaders. Gap is 1.9 seconds between the top two, but the man in P2 now has a 3-second time penalty as Vengeance finally pits to get off those mediums. He hasn't punctured yet, but I reckon he'd be pretty close, so he's come in, he's pulled the plug.
Fair enough.
And now chances now for a safety car are very, very slim.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. Yeah, there's no way. Well, actually, you could have it happen, but yeah.
It's quite unlikely at this point, unless someone throws it into the wall. So...
Well, we saw them with one Haas, didn't we? And they didn't cause a safety car.
Well, that's right. They only need to lightly tap it, break their front wing, and then it comes out. And we only have one Haas left, and it's currently leading a 3-car battle train for P7.
Yep, and yeah, at least fair credit, Andre's still holding on.
Yeah, he's holding on. He doesn't have a time penalty, so he doesn't have to worry about Roscoe. He will have to worry about Vertex, though, in P9.
Oh, Ferrari Pro! Oh my goodness! He was trying to overtake Pump there. He was nearly he was on the grass there.
Gee whiz.
Got through, though.
He got through. 2.3, 2.1 seconds is the gap. We have got 3 laps to go. The math equates to roughly 7/10 a lap. That's how much quicker he needs to be on this lap relative to Easy Mac. If he wants to win this race, he needs to push that hard. Or will he take second for the sake of the championship? I'm sure that's in his mind right now. He's guaranteed a second place so long as he doesn't put a foot wrong from here on out. And that'll be big points. That'll be very healthy points. And where did he start? He started second. So 9 points from the first race. And now it's going to be... What's that? 23, 31-point swing. It's a big swing. But he's closed in. Look at the gap now. It's 1.3. He's found the time.
Yeah. He could probably get within DRS range next lap if he could keep it clean.
2 laps to go. 1.2 seconds is the gap. The leader makes his way through turn 1, then turn 2. Ferrari Pro makes his way around turn 3. He is closing the gap incrementally, but he found so much time in the middle sector. Those fresher tyres just have so much more grip compared to those old hard tyres. Vertex and ACW battling for position. Out of Desida del Lago and up the hill towards Ferradura. The gap decreases to under 1 second. It's sitting at 8.5 tenths as they go around turn 8 up towards turn 9. Nice and steady here. Nice exit as well from Ferrari Pro as they head around turn 11, the right-hand hairpin. The gap shrinks to half a second as they go through turn 12, up the hill towards turn 13. Ferrari Pro needs to get this spot on, and he gets a pretty spot on, I'd say. Up the hill,
yeah,
2 corners remain. Here we go.
He's close. He is close. He is close.
It's going to be a drag race here to turn 1. No battery in the Ferrari. Plenty of top speed in the Alfa Romeo. Looking round the outside here into turn 1. That will turn to the inside here at turn 2. And Ferrari Pro gets in front. But it's not over yet. Easy Mac will have DRS down the retro poster. And he's got a little bit of battery left. And this Alfa's got some serious straight line speed. Oh, and he tried to look to the inside here at turn 4.
Holy moly.
He tried to have a look down the inside there. Ferrari Pro covered that inside line. Easy Mac, he wanted that line, but he couldn't get it. He thought about switching back to the racing line, but then he recommitted back to the inside. He couldn't get it done, and he stays in P2. Now, we've seen the grip that the medium tyres have. Yellow flags are out, by the way. That's Roscoe arm before turn 4. Don't know what's going on there for poor Roscoe. Something happened there. Through turn 12 for the final time. Up towards turn 13. This is a race that Ferrari Pro desperately needed. His main rival in the championship is absent, thanks to a huge storm down in South Australia. And Ferrari Pro is going to capitalise on it massively. He will win the Brazilian Grand Prix and take a huge points haul, with Easy Mac coming home in second. Pump will end up completing the podium places in third, by 0.8 of a second to Spicy.
Oof.
There we are.
What a race. Yeah. What a good race. I'd say that was.
Indeed. BP completes the top 5, followed by Plebs and P6, then Vertex, then ACW. Andre Marvelant will finish inside the top 10. Pato will beat Vengeance P12 at the end of the race. Not the race session he was looking for. It all went downhill at turn 1 after the first qualifying session, and he wasn't able to recover since. There we go. ACW given driver of the day. We'll see his performance in the final results screen. But now, right now, it's time for podium celebrations. Oh, down the corridor of celebration comes F1 Ferrari Pro. What a performance from him. It didn't look like it was going to be a race win at certain points during that race, but he turned up the heat during the moments when it mattered, and he ends up taking in the win by half a second to Easy Mac. On his debut, no less, a P2 finish with Pump completing the podium places. What an effort. So, the unofficial results of this Grand Prix. Ferrari Pro is your race winner, with Easy Mac coming up in second, with Pump finishing third. 2 drivers getting their podium debuts here in Brazil. Spicy 4, followed by BP, Plez, Vertex, ACW, Andre, and Marvelant rounding out the 10. Pado's 11, followed by Vengeance, Roscoe, Whitey, Bags of Del, Nick, and Hilles at the bottom of the table after DNFing, throwing his car into the wall. Didn't quite see who got fastest lap. Did you see that, KD?
No, I didn't quite catch that.
I'll check that later. But yes, this is Pump's first podium, if you don't count Silverstone Sprint, from the looks of things. He got 4th in the Grand Prix, he got 2nd in the Sprint. But this is his first main race podium for this season. Oh. So, and I've noticed as well, Pump has given me a friend request. I'll accept that just quickly. And I've got to send one to Easy Mac as well, see if he wants to do interviews or not. Friend request received. I will accept that. Taking forever. There we are. And I've got to send one to Easy Mac. I think that's Easy_Mac 08. I think that's how it's done. Easy Mac. I think that's how you do it. I'll quickly check the stream just to make sure. Rather than just doing a bunch of guesses. Yes, it is. There he is. Send a friend request, see if he wants to join us. I'll invite all 3 of them. There we are. Thank you, Easy Mac. Let's see here. I need F1 Ferrari. When's Ferrari Pro? You appearing online there? There you are. I need Pump. Hopefully Pump will be appearing online. There we are. And I'll add in let's see here, where are you? Z-Mac, where are you? Must be appearing offline. Scroll. Hello, Ferrari Pro. You can say whatever you want. The stream's blue screened right now. Yeah, he is. Oh. Hello, Pump.
Hello, Pump.
Let's go.
Hello, hello. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Pardon the pun, but you must be pretty pumped with that.
Oh, pumped right up there.
I
Mate,
see.
podium. Not a bad effort at all. Virtual showroom. Hop over here. We'll just be waiting on Easy Mac as well. Now,
There he is.
is he joining?
Yeah, he just joined.
Notification didn't pop up. Bloody thing. Right. Could be. Now, Pump, is your audio okay? We're blue screen again, so you can say whatever you want on the stream. Alright. Hello, Easy Mac. Hello, hello. Well done, mate. Now, we're just going to make sure that your party audio is okay as well. KD, could you... it should be all good? Sweet. Okay, don't need to go through any of that then. That's awesome.
Nice.
Right. Thank you, all three of you, for joining us here, just to answer a few questions. First of all, congratulations to all three of you finishing on the podium. But we'll start from third, and we'll make our way up, per the norm. Pump, welcome to the podium. Must be a nice
Thanks,
feeling.
I've got a couple before, not this season, but
Yeah.
for some reason I've never managed to join the party. But yeah, no, it's good to finally get one this season. It kind of came fairly unexpectedly, I think.
Oh, nice one, though, at Interlagos, of all places.
Yeah, great track to drive, definitely. A lot of fun.
But an interesting race on your hand. But first of all, we'll talk about qualifying. I'll have to find the results of qualifying. I do have them around here somewhere. Don't know where I put them. Oh, goodness. But how was qualifying on your end?
Pretty poor, I think. I think it was probably P14 or something like that.
P13
14,
at the
13.
end.
Yeah. Yeah, neither of my bankers were very good, and then I was trying to do 2 warm-up laps just to get the tyres right and burn a bit of fuel.
Yep.
And yeah, that last lap, there was nothing bad, but there was just, lots of cars on track, on a small track, and just didn't time it right. Just made a few mistakes. And, yeah, so the sprint race was helpful in the end, was that?
You tend to find that during races around small racetracks. It's very difficult to find room towards the end of the session because everyone wants to go out as late as possible. So you just get caught up with other people's problems. So that's why bigger racetracks, it tends to be a bit nicer towards the end of the session. But yeah, an 8.3 ended up setting at the end of qualifying, 9/10 off pole, P13 at the end of qualifying. But yeah, how was your sprint? You mentioned it was a bit better than what happened in qualifying.
Race. I think I just kind of I got up to about P8 in the end, but I just kind of made my way through. I think there was just a few people making mistakes around me.
Yeah, there was a bit of carnage at turn 1 that you managed to avoid pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, that was really the story of it. I can't remember doing any overtakes specifically, maybe 1 or 2, I'm not sure. But yeah, just kept it together and capitalised basically on everything that went wrong for
Fair enough.
other people.
Sometimes a good race is just keeping your nose out of trouble. Just avoiding all the carnage, picking up places where you can, and then just driving well to the checkered. And yeah, you got a P7 finish at the end of that. So some small points from that race as well. But then the main race. You were one of a few drivers who started on the medium compound tyre, which ultimately ended up really aiding you in this race. But what was your thought process heading into the main race? Did you initially plan to start on the medium tyre? Was it sort of a spur of a moment thing?
I was always going to start on the mediums.
Mm.
Did not a lot of race practice or anything during the week, so I kind of just thought I'll start on the mediums because it's the easier tyre to drive, basically.
Fair
to
enough.
try and get up to speed. And then, yeah, I mean, the safety car just played perfectly for me. Really, it's just one of those days where things go right, and
Yep.
yeah, you get a bit of luck.
Well, it happened to Vertex last week. He ended up getting a podium on his debut. And we got another driver on their debut making a podium finish. So that's 2 in a row. But yeah, no, it seemed like with you this race, it was essentially just keeping out of trouble for the most part and just driving well. You did end up getting a 3-second time penalty though, which put you in a bit of a vulnerable spot.
Yeah, that really definitely changed my thought process going into the end of the race there, because I was trying to stay with Easy Mac, thinking, maybe there's a race win on here, but I don't know his pace at the same time, so kind of had to gauge that throughout the race.
Yep.
How hard to push, and in the end I think he was just too quick, and I made a few mistakes here and there. Lit it up off the last corner once and saved it, and then after that, I was about 2 seconds back, so it was unlikely. And then the pen, so that kind of shifted the focus behind me to kind of knew Ferrari Pro was always going to get past. That's why I didn't really fight him. I just thought I'll just let him go, and hopefully him and Easy Mac can battle. And then just kept my eyes on Spicy, I think, behind me. Yep,
and he managed to get pretty well. Ended up beating him by, I think it was just over 8 tenths. So maybe if there was one more lap, he might have had a shot of finishing on the podium. But there wasn't that one more lap, and you got it. So
exactly right.
Well done on your effort today. And again, welcome to the podium. It's nice to have you after all this time, me watching you. So,
Thank you.
But KD, have you got anything to ask Pump?
Not too much. I mean, of course, this is my first time ever hearing your voice, but good job on your podium, though. It's been a while since you've been on the podium, huh? Since, last season at China? I think? When was the last time you were on the podium?
I'm not sure. Probably near the start of last season. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because I think I remember watching that race briefly, but I think you were on... Yeah, I think you won that race, if I remember correctly.
I won the one at China. I think that was even maybe earlier, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it was good to hear for you the first time, but congratulations, though, on your first podium of the season.
Yeah, thanks. It's nice to meet you guys.
But one final question for you, Pump. Next week, we're heading over to the newly configured Yas Marina circuit for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. How do you feel heading into next week's race?
I'd say pretty medium, I guess. It's not really a great track for me. Not a bad track. The new layout's a bit more fun for racing, so it does throw up good racing at least. But I wouldn't say that I have any extra pace there.
Fair enough. No, I agree. Sometimes with Abu Dhabi, it can toss up some really interesting race, especially in our world, in the virtual one. The racing tends to be quite interesting. But no, I'll be keen to see how you fellas fare on the new circuit. But best of luck for next week. But for now, congratulations on your P3 finish here in Brazil. Well done.
Awesome, thank you.
We'll move on to you, Easy Mac. P2 finish, mate. Now, are you a full-timer with Alfa Romeo now?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Sweet. So this is the second time in consecutive weeks that we've had a guy on debut making their way onto the podium in the main race. So awesome effort from you today. But we'll start with qualifying. P9 at the end of qualifying. How was the session for you, and was there any more time left on the table?
It was a poor qualifying on my last lap. I had to back out my lap and validated, so
yeah.
I had 44% battery. Sprint made up for that quite heavily, so that's a positive.
Yeah, man, up from P9 to P5 in that sprint race, and a bit like Pump, seems like you just avoided that turn one carnage and picked up a fair few places for it.
Right in front of me.
Yeah, righto. Could you take us through it?
I think it was a Mercedes, was it?
Oh.
And a car on the inside, just that's why I know and watched it happen.
Yeah, righto. But throughout that sprint race, how was it for you? Any battles throughout, or was it just clean driving and just trying to get to the finish?
I think I had Spicy come up my inside, and I let him go. I wasn't trying to fight it too hard. Just trying to keep it clean, because I knew people that would make mistakes. And I think it was Vertex who spun.
Yes, spun at turn 12, chucked away at third place.
Yes, super unlucky for him.
Yeah, really easy to do at turn 12 because the car can just go, it can spin, And yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly
I think
what
that's about
happens.
3-4 guys do it as well,
Yeah.
besides him.
Yeah, really easy to do. But no, P5 at the end of that, so it puts you in a solid position for the main race. And like Pump, you elected to start on the medium tyre. Now, was that a planned thing, or was that also a sort of spur of the moment sort of deal?
I was playing.
Yep.
The guys ahead was so quick.
Fair enough.
I wasn't going to keep up with them on the hards.
Yep.
Also gave me some good battling with Ferrari Pro.
Yes, some good battling right at the beginning of the race. Definitely kept us entertained. But no, it was nice and clean from what it seemed like between you two. Looked pretty good.
There wasn't any damage from my side or contact, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But like with Pump, that safety car really opened up an opportunity for you.
Yeah, I was really, really fortunate. I'm not sure what caused it. I don't know if someone DNF'd. But either way, it was really fortunate.
I know what caused it. I know exactly what caused it.
Yep.
And it gives me nightmares. It was a Haas losing control and breaking their front wing. And the debris from that created a safety car.
Wow.
And that always...
I'm not complaining.
Well, I am, because the amount of times I've seen it where a Haas breaks their front wing and the safety car comes out, it's happened so often that I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's an actual bug in the game where a Haas breaks their wing and it's always a safety car. I swear to you, every time I've seen it, it's always a safety car. Oh, but no, that safety car opened up a massive door for you to hop onto the hard compound tyre. And what were your thought processes after that? Was it just keep out of trouble, just don't make any mistakes?
Nah, I knew I had to get past the hard runners, because if I lose time to the top two, I think it was BP and Ferrari, that they're going to get me at the end.
Fair enough.
So I had to get a bit of airways out, and Vengeance on the mediums paved the way for me to get past everyone else.
Yeah, fair play.
You had to follow him through.
But no, that's intelligent driving, just using the guy who's on the softer tyre, do all the hard work, just follow up behind. No, that's very smart driving. But, towards the end, you looked pretty good, but that Ferrari was coming at you quick.
The middle sector was pretty sketchy. I was on like 65% hards.
Okay.
I couldn't go flat through that left-hander at all. So it was super, like a struggle town.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, how long did you go on those tyres? Like 24, 20...
28 laps.
28? Jeez.
28?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
I think the same as Pumped as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I knew he was
because
in the same boat as me.
Yeah, because you both pit at the same time.
Yeah, no wonder why he was gaining so much time on you in the middle sector after doing that.
I think his were like under 15, were they, laps, the mediums?
Yeah, he was... Ooh.
Yeah, because the mediums felt so good when I was on them.
But, it came down to the last lap. You gave it your best shot. But,
it wasn't... I don't know if you guys saw. I tried to force the inside. It wasn't his fault. I probably got a bit too aggressive.
Oh yeah, we were paying attention to the people in last place. Of course we were watching. That's our job.
Because
we're not Sky Sports. We don't turn away from the good stuff. So, but no, that was
we don't put Lance Stroll in the middle of a replay.
And, we saw Ferrari Pro cover, and then you were sort of following behind, and it looked like you were about to jank back out to the racing line. And then you decided to switch your mind to try and go down the inside, try and create a hole there. And it didn't really work.
Yeah. Because the outside, I'm not going to stick it with the old hards.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was only one way. And he was smart to cover that inside. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Just covered off the only opportunity for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that pace through the middle sector, that was,
Yeah. So, I mean, he drove so well to come back. I think it was like 10 seconds and like 7 laps, so...
I think by the time he made his pit stop and he was behind BP, I recall the gap being about 12. And he had to make his way through traffic, so...
Wow.
Yep. But no, you drove...
That's crazy.
Credit to you though, you drove well. No mistakes,
yeah,
I
did drive well. I didn't really do much practice. I've already done a couple of league races here, so I felt quite confident.
Yep.
Which I think paid off. Just believing that I have the pace, not overthinking it.
Yep. No, very well done. KD, do you have anything to ask Mac?
Nothing too much, really, but yeah, strong debut from you, and a very strong effort from you as well. Now, do you feel that you can probably carry that sort of momentum maybe into the later part of the season?
Yeah, I think I can, but it might be hard to get back on the podium, you know. A couple of the quick guys, I don't know, couldn't make it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
it's still positive, you know, it's still good to get a podium.
Yeah, it's a huge result. And I think you've definitely got, at a minimum, top 10 potential. And that's saying something with the caliber of these guys, so...
Yeah, these guys are next level.
Yeah, they are. But
I wasn't
one-
expecting to be qualifying
You should
P9.
see Pacific Tier 1.
oh yeah, I've got that Tuesday to do. That ought to be
Yeah, I've
nice
seen
to see.
Pacific Tier 1, they're rapid.
They are rapid.
They are the sweaty, you know what?
Yeah, you're
the
lucky
two
you stopped
G-Force
yourself
guys.
there, man.
Yeah.
You're lucky you
At
stopped
least-
yourself.
Hey, I did. Hey, at least I did for the stream's sake.
Yeah, well done. But one final question for you, Mac. There's a race next week over in Abu Dhabi at the newly configured Yas Marina circuit. That side doesn't tell me it's going to be a good week next week.
I haven't done a lap there at all.
Okay. See,
Yeah,
bit of an
it's gonna be a
unknown
lot of-
then.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of practice to go into that because I've done nothing there, so
Fair enough.
I'm kind of going in the dark. But I'm still looking forward to it.
Well, best of luck for next week. But for now, congratulations
Thanks.
on finishing on the
Thanks a lot.
podium in your debut. Well done.
Thanks. See you guys.
But,
See you later, man.
we'll move on to P1. F1 Ferrari Pro. A race that you desperately needed, mate. You pulled it off. Well done.
Well, thank you, Lane. And it was definitely a tricky race out there. I tell you what.
Yeah, it looked tricky. It looked pretty tricky from the moments that we
Yeah.
saw.
Jesus Christ, it was just one to remember.
But first question, Paul, how was it?
I really loved it. Like coming back from a pretty shocking start, F122 from a quality pace. It's good to have 2 poles in a row now.
Yeah,
Overall, having 4 in the Elite Series, but in previous seasons. But so, yeah, I was so super happy with my lap. I think I could have maybe gone a tiny bit faster, but either way, I'm stoked with it.
fair enough. But now a pole position start and main rival Vengeance alongside on the front row had contact with BP that sent him around, and it gave you two the opportunity to just stretch away from the rest of the field. He got by you and took the lead. Were you thinking about trying to take it back, or was it just trying to maintain second at that point?
I was definitely trying to get it back because I wanted to get maximum points, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure what setup he was running or anything, or he was just decent. He was just naturally quick, but Jesus Christ, man, like I couldn't get past him. I mean, half of it would have been down to lack of judgment of VRS, but yeah, it's all right. P2 in the sprint, I'll take it.
I think I recall towards the end of that sprint, BP had about 50% or 30% battery compared to you, who was in single digits at the same time. It was quite a difference. And on that last lap, with that much of a difference, even if you had DRS, there was no way you were getting it back.
Yeah.
He could just dump his battery and just drive away. By the way, Broke Vegan says he loves you, so just so you know.
Hello
course.
again, Vegan. Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting that to happen.
Yeah, does it every time you're here. But main race time. You started on the hards.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure about it actually because like tyre wear around here is pretty 50-50, like in my opinion, and I just decided to go for a hard medium strat just to play it safe, and it was pretty tough against like easy on the mediums, and I'm pretty sure it was some of them are just naturally quick on the fresh hards, and I was struggling out there in the start. It was hard.
It started to chop your way back through, try and get towards the front, and then you made an oopsie.
Oh yeah, the spin at the long left-hander.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, got a bit carried away, wanted to get some more places up and just gain time, so I took it flat.
Didn't work, did it?
Nah, did not work at all.
No, it tumbled you down to 9th, I think it was.
Yeah, just behind Vengeance.
Yep. And then safety car came out. And few people pit, you didn't. And you were now in 5th place. You had a shot, try and get back to the front. And when the green flag dropped, you took it. You were fast.
I found this, like, Brazil to be pretty quick of mine, like a really quick circuit, so I knew I can't let any of this be taken away from me. I got a chance to win here. I didn't want to be held up, so I just sent it everywhere I could cleanly, even if it was on straights and that.
Yeah.
And I just drove my heart out there.
No, you eventually got back towards the front. You're with your teammate BP. Went through the pit cycle, pitting onto medium tyres. You were both out at the same sort of area. And I think the next major moment between you two was what happened to turn 1.
Yeah, I'm not really sure to rate that, because like I saw a gap, and like I'm gonna go, so yeah. I didn't have enough time to switch back to the inside, so I just went for the outside because I felt there was a wide enough gap. Yeah. Which there was, and then as soon as we hit braking, he like squeezed me on.
Yeah.
Turns on to you. Yeah.
We noticed that as well, and we made those sorts of comments. It's like I certainly felt that you were there, because if you weren't there, I don't think you would have been pushed off. But then I suppose Karma came back and he made a mistake at turn 6 and 7.
I think I don't know really, how to rate that one though, because he might have not thought I might have gone for the move, so he just was entitled to go for his racing line in the turn 1.
Yeah.
But I was there, and he had his arrows. Hopefully, he had his arrows, so he knew I was there. Or he just, I know he drives in cockpit. He might have saw me in his mirror or something.
Maybe.
So I don't really know how to rate that though, but I'm not too worried about it.
Well, you ended up winning, so
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing is you won. I mean, regardless of what on earth happened.
But speaking of that winning, you drove pretty well throughout that final part of the race. What was your sort of mentality, and how were those final few laps for you?
Basically, it was just constantly flowing through my head, like, don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake, you're going for a win here.
Yeah.
And I really just knew that the others were on older tyres and that, especially hards, and I was on like 30% medium, so I knew I could definitely have the pace to push for the win. And I don't know why I used all my ERS, because I knew I had all the pace anyway, but I just did, because of just natural habit that I've got to work on.
Yeah.
But no, I really, it was really hard to actually catch up, I can admit, but I really, pushed
And you gave it your all, and it came down to the last lap with a move around the outside at turn 1. Do you think you were going to pull it off there?
I had the overlap, so I was just like, let's go for it, because you know he might have had more ERS going down the second straight on turn 4, maybe so I just had to send it. I just didn't know if he had ERS or not, and I think he did, because he gained a bit on me going on the turn. So he nearly went for a pretty good move, I can admit. He nearly did a Marcus Costa Spain in the grass.
Yeah, cut the grass down the inside, but he just about shut that door and Matt couldn't get through.
Yeah.
And did you know then, I can win this?
Yeah, I definitely knew. I've got the pace all throughout the whole lap, so I'm just going to settle down and just get clean.
Yep. And you did. Ended up taking the win by about half a second or so at the line.
Feels good. feels good, I tell you what, because I like those drives where like I had a shitty mistake and then I can't come back or something.
Yeah.
Really do like those ones.
You were pushed down thanks to a bit of bad luck with the safety car and a mistake at turn 12 and a bit of fisticuffs at turn 1. And I think you ran wide as well at turn 6, if I recall. You battling BP and you sent it off wide.
Yeah, yeah, that was... I need to have a look at the replay of that because we were side by side and... Yeah, I don't know what happened there, actually.
Just looked like you overcooked it into turn 6.
Yeah, that would... Yeah.
I think you tried to send it in, you sent it in too hard, and whooshka, where goes your teammate.
Yeah, like I got to remember, and like I'm battling my teammate. I'm not battling like I'm not battling. Like he is a rival, but like I'm battling my teammate. I've got to at least be a bit careful.
I may mention of it as well during the sprint. It was nice to see two Ferraris battling at the front.
Yeah,
just it looks nice. I wish we could see it more often in real life F1.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love that.
Who knows? Maybe we might see a little bit tonight. Who knows?
There was one when we were going past, I think, I don't know who the Alfa Romeo was, but we both went through on formation, just overtook him, and
it was marvelous. You both had DRS and you slingshot by.
Really nice that was.
Yep. But, KD, have you got anything to ask our race winner?
Well, how much are you how much love are you taking from Vegan right now in the comment section?
I'm taking a lot. I've got my boy Vegan in the chat. I know I'm having a good race if he's spamming "I love you" and all that. So,
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Oh well, thank you, Vegan. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks for saying that we're the best as well, Vegan. That's another thing I'll add to that.
Exactly. Lane and KD equals Murray Walker and James Hunt. That's why I'm
Murray Walker, James Hunt. That's interesting.
Almost cursed like James. Got close.
I know. Maybe we have a bit of personality.
But two questions for you left for iPro. First one, you've taken the championship lead. 39 points in your favour. Costa's absent because of the storm down in South Australia. He's unable to race. So now you have a 15-point lead heading into the next round. First of all, how does that feel? And second of all, how do you feel heading into next week for the race at Yas Marina?
Well, as much as I want to claim my second championship right now, I can't really say who's going to win because Marcus is a very good driver, and it's really unfortunate what happened to him down in South Australia with the storm. So it's a satisfying feeling being back at the front of the championship, but obviously there is that little bit that I really wanted to battle him on track and not have him absent or something. So yeah, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see for the rest of the championship. But next week, Abu Dhabi had a special moment there last year or last season. Yeah. So new layout. I don't know how that will go. I feel pretty quick around it in like just open lobbies, general time trial, and that. So we'll have to see how it goes. It's a really fun layout, also.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, best of luck for next week. But for now, congratulations on winning the Brazilian Grand Prix and taking the championship lead. Well done.
Thank you, Lane and KD, and congrats Easy and Pump. You guys drove really good out there tonight. Good job, boys.
But I think KD, that'll wrap up another stream for the Elite Series. One that didn't end early that we've had in previous weeks. So this was one complete stream. Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
But Brazil, huh? Just doesn't disappoint.
No. Of course, I've always loved this racetrack, both as a commentator and as a driver too. I think we can all agree with that. It's a It's a fantastic little place for sure.
But no, thank you again for your services.
Yeah, of course.
For the race. Yeah, just unfortunately you had things to do. You missed out on some qualifying in the sprint, but you were here for the main one. But no, thank you again.
Yeah, of course, anytime, Lane.
But I think with everything said and done, it's time for us to end the stream. I've been LaneEveringham. My co-commentator, as always, is KD1997. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for round 13 of the championship at the newly configured Yas Marina circuit for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Until then, it's goodbye.